Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Ecovacs Deebot T20 Omni floor cleaner robot. And what I want to do today, first of all get it unboxed, show you the setup process, then I'll give you a couple of demonstrations. I'll also explain a feature that this has got, that at this time of recording, no other floor cleaning robot has got. But first of all, we need to get it unboxed. As you can see, it's quite a big box that it's arrived in. So I'm actually really looking forward to this because I have talked about one or two floor cleaning robots before, but I'm quite intrigued by this unique feature that it's got. Oh wow, that's certainly a good weight. Now, something that I suppose if you follow me on YouTube for a while, then I will often comment on the packaging and how, I suppose, recyclable it is. And so far, a lot of this is all brown cardboard, apart from the outer box here. And clearly what Ecovacs want to do, they want to make sure that the product arrives safe and sound. They don't want anything to be damaged, and as long as they can do that, and to recycle lots of the packaging afterwards, then personally I think that's absolutely brilliant. So well done to Ecovacs for all of this. Now, so this is the main vacuum itself. I absolutely love the finish of this. It's like a matte silver finish. And I know essentially it's just the look of it, but for a lot of people, this is actually going to sit in your home. And with a lot of other cordless vacuums, they tend to go into a cupboard or get stored away. Whereas personally, I think something like this is going to be on show quite a lot. So I'm really pleased that it looks smart. There we are. So this is the main station where, well, I'll go through the setup and where all the water goes in a couple of minutes. But again, first glance of this, really pleased how it looks. Some of the other vacuum cleaners that I've talked about have not really looked as smart as this. So there's quite a lot of packaging that needs to come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get everything put to one side and then start to talk about the vacuum itself. So now that I've got everything unpacked, I think we're ready to go. Now, one thing which I always like with any manufacturer is to make life simple. Again, if you follow me on YouTube for a while, you'll realise I'm not a huge fan of instructions, but for sometimes when I'm talking about products, I do need to refer to the instructions, and I think this is one of those times. But even though the instructions that it comes with are very comprehensive, I've had a quick look and they look very good. I'm really leaning towards this. So this was on the top of the box. This is a quick start guide, and for me, this is absolutely fantastic. So this is what I'm going to work through. But really all it says to start off with is to remove some of the protectors on the vacuum. And you've got little tabs. So you've got a remove tab just on the front here. So that you take the top off, and we just need to take that out. So that's key. Pop that back on there. And the next one, so number 2, is just to install the dual side brushes. That's these two. And what Ecovacs have done is they've made it even easier for me. I suppose put in different colours. Hopefully you can see that one's red, one's green. And just on the underside here, we've got matching colours, one red, one green here as well. So let's just pop those on. They just clip into place like that. Dead easy. And the next one is to assemble the Omni station. I know I've got it on the table at the moment. I'll put it into my lounge once we actually get going with doing a couple of demonstrations. But I just wanted to get it set up to show everyone what it's all about. Now you've got a plug here, so that just plugs into the back of the main unit. There we are, little beep there. clearly wherever you're going to position this, you need to make sure you've got plenty of room for the floor robot to come in and to go out as well. So you don't want to put this into a corner where it's really going to struggle to for the robot to actually get in and out. There is actually an app that you can download, and I'll be honest, I definitely recommend downloading it almost as you get to this stage. That's again what's recommended just down here in the quick start guide. So I've actually just started to download it, and the again setup process ever so easy, but I just wanted to show you this. So once you've actually downloaded it, then it's just got to this stage where we need to add the vacuum. I love this. It's just I know it's only a little like a little cartoon, but I love things like that. So all I need to do now is to scan the QR code that is actually within the robot itself. So if I just take the top off here, got the QR code on the inside. Wow, that was quick. And then the next thing is just saying I need to get the robot switched on. So just take the top off, and there's a little switch on the inside. Switch it on, pop the lid back on, and I've switched on the robot. So briefly press the reset button for 1 second and then release. You'll hear the Deebot is ready for network setup. There we are, sings a little song. There we are, so that was pretty quick. And now you can name your robot. So if you had a certain name that you wanted to name him or her, then that's up to you. I'm just going to leave it as Deebot T20 Omni. There we go. So then you just select the time zone that you're in, and there is a software update. Now I'd always recommend when it comes to things like this, don't ignore it. Just do, you know, there is a current version and there's a latest version. So as you can see, this has now done the initial setup. It's done the software update, and I'm being careful because I've got it on the table at the moment. But what the robot's doing is it's just going back to the station, which is fine. I've got plenty of space for this. They do have things like cliff sensors, so it wouldn't fall off the table. Love it. So absolutely love it. So now the robot is starting to charge. Just before I put it on the floor and give you a demonstration of it, I want to give you some numbers and some of the specification about the robot vacuum itself. So first of all, you've actually got a bag in here. So clearly when the vacuum has actually gone and it's actually vacuumed around, what you don't want to be doing is to have to empty the little container, because with all the will in the world, for the size of this, you're not going to get a huge amount of dust and dirt within the vacuum itself. So what Ecovacs have done is they've actually come up with a 3 litre bag that's stored within here. So essentially what the vacuum will do is when it detects that the bin is full, it will come back here, empty, and then it can go back out. Now personally I think that is absolutely genius. I'm just going to move the camera because I'm going to show you this, because you can't take the drawer out itself. So we're going mobile a minute. So here we are, we've got the bag in here, and you can take it out. So when you need to replace the bags, then that's an easy process. That just lifts out. Take the bag out, go and get rid of that, and then pop a fresh bag in there. And then you just shut the drawer like that. On the top here, this is where the clean and the dirty water tanks are, because rather than just being a vacuum, it will actually clean your floor properly as well. So first of all, you've got the dirty water tank. These are both 4 litre tanks. And then you've got the clean tank on the side here. So both very, very good capacity. And the reason I mention that is that the last thing you want to be doing is when you've got this kind of product, personally, I want as little maintenance as possible. And I have seen some robot vacuums where they've got water tanks, but because the tanks are very small, then you have to keep going and emptying them and filling them up as far as the clean water on this side. So I'm really pleased. So 4 litres, that's really the biggest I've seen so far. Towards the start of the video I mentioned about a unique feature that this robot vacuum has got compared to anything else on the market, at this time of recording anyway. And that is that it will actually heat the water before it starts to do the mopping. Now, I think for a lot of people, you're thinking, well, why is that relevant? And if you've ever tried washing up or cleaning something in cold water, so if you're going to go and hand wash, say, a saucepan in cold water, you just know that it's not effective whatsoever. And personally, I think it's genius that it can actually heat the water up. So now I've got the vacuum all set up. It's just next to my television at the moment. But really what you need to do first of all is you actually need to set the mapping functionality. And what this will do is this will actually map out the area that you want to vacuum. And then once you've done that, then it can start to vacuum itself. So as you go into the app, then you've got the option here to auto cleaning. So I'm just going to press that.
Cleaning and mapping synchronously.
There we are. So that's just going to come out and it's just going to go and map for me the whole of my downstairs. It normally takes a couple of minutes to do that, so I'm just going to let it do it. As you can see, it's partway through doing the mapping at the moment. So it's just going around all the edges. There we are.
Start charging.
So now it's finished the mapping process. I'll just show you this through the app. And if we go to enter smart cleaning, then it will actually show you, it just takes a second for this to load. And first of all, it shows you a map of basically my downstairs. And you can see it's basically set across, I suppose, three different rooms. Also, it shows you, just at the top here, the duration. So it took 12 minutes and it's 13 square meters. You've got a couple of other, this is like a 3D map, and it just shows the area of the downstairs at the house. It also shows you just in the corner here where the vacuum is. And what you can also do is you can actually get a certain area. So if I wanted a custom vacuum area, so I could just move that. So if I just wanted to vacuum that area there, then you can do that. Absolutely brilliant. As you come into some of the menus, you've got different cleaning efficiencies. So this is on standard at the moment. That's a deep clean. Then you've got a fast clean. So if you are in a hurry, then you can just enable the fast clean. But I suppose I'll keep it on the standard. I love the sound that makes. It sounds like the ping on a submarine. Edge, so you've got edge deep cleaning, so only effective in auto cleaning and housekeeper mode. And that's just saying that Deebot will perform deep cleaning for corners when mopping to improve the cleaning coverage. It's performed every 7 days. Then you've got different, so carpet cleaning strategy, cleaning sequence, and you've also got, just at the bottom here, you've got the schedule cleaning as well. So really what I'd want to do is I'd want the vacuum to come out and vacuum probably every day or every couple of days, just to keep it nice and clean. Now I haven't got animals here, but I have got 2 children, and I suppose being 2 teenagers, sometimes they can be classed as animals, especially the amount of dirt that they can bring in sometimes. But as I say, probably once a day or once every couple of days to the vacuum, and then to actually go around and mop, probably either twice a week or once a week, depending on, I suppose, how much we've been coming through the house. But I can change that as time goes on, so that's easy to do. You've actually got 4 different cleaning preferences as well. First of all, you've got vacuum only. So if you just wanted the robot vacuum to come out, just vacuum and then go back, that's one to select. Then you've got mop only. As it says, that will just come out, mop, and then go back. And that's ideal, I suppose, if you have enabled a vacuum only process before that. As you go over here, so you've got vacuum and mop mode. So that's really good for, I suppose, if the area that you're doing is pretty clean anyway, then what it will do is it will actually vacuum and mop at the same time. Now that is okay if, as I say, if the area that you're doing is already pretty clean. But really, if you needed it to come out and do a good vacuum first, then that's the one to select, mop after vacuum. And really what that will do is that will come out and do a proper vacuum first of all, and then it will go and mop afterwards. Now for me, that's really the one that I would select, the one at the end here, because I just think if it's going to do a vacuum and mop at the same time, then it might not be quite as effective. Now what I had to do is, during the whole setup process, I didn't actually put the mop pads on, but to enable some of these functions, then you just have to pop them on underneath. I will quickly show you that, because that was very easy. So if I just take the robot vacuum out, the mop pad's underneath. If you just want it to go back to the base and to recharge, I know it's back at the base anyway at the moment, but just press the recharge button. But I think what I need to do is I'm going to go and fill the clean water tank up. I think we need to start cleaning. So I've just gone almost to the top. When you clip it shut, then that won't leak at all. There we are. I'm putting my faith in Ecovacs to provide a good seal around the edge, so that's really, really good. You will see just at the top here, you have got a max line, so that's the maximum 4 litre that it can go up to. As we pop it in the top there, shut the lid, now we're ready to go. So really, for the first task, what I want to do is I just want to put it through a vacuum and mop mode. So I want it to do everything. I want to see how effective it is, because I've not cleaned it properly yet. So I'm just going to keep it on standard. I'm going to enable the edge deep cleaning as well. And cleaning preference, what do I want to do? So I want to go over to this side, so mop after vacuum. And I want it to do a really good job, so let's enable it to twice anyway. Well, it does say it's going to do it twice anyway by default. I'm going to set it to standard, so after we've done that, then let's just go back and we're going to, there we are, start cleaning the whole house. So it's just returning at the moment, partway through the mopping process, to clean the mopping pads. So I know we can't see anything, but at the moment it's just going through a cleaning process. I will cover a bit more about the cleaning of the whole of the vacuum in a couple of minutes. But at the moment, as I say, I know we can't see anything. I've just tried to get a little bit lower, but no, nothing that you can see. It's just clean the mopping pads, and then when it's finished that, it'll come out and carry on with the mopping process. So that was really the first demonstration, and it's gone round and it's cleaned the floor, and I've let it dry for a bit. To be fair, it wasn't too wet, which I'm really impressed at, because there's nothing worse than having a cleaner that will go around and clean the floor, and then you've got to wait ages for it to dry. Now, I just want to show you this. So this is the dirty water, and as you can see, that's I'll be honest, a little bit embarrassing, because I do try and keep on top of how clean the floor is, but clearly it's not clean enough. So that's where my new robot vacuum will come in handy. So let's just pop that back in there. But nevertheless, I've got a nice clean floor now. But what I also want to do is I'll just put this towel down here, and I'm just going to show you the underside of the robot. And these are the mopping pads, so you can easily take those out if you want to. They just clip into place, so if you wanted to clean those properly, then you can do. But what you will find is it has got a cleaning program in here anyway, and that will clean those.
Mopping pad plate installed.
There we are. You just need to make sure it's clipped in properly. As I showed you earlier, these can come out, so if you needed to replace them after a time, you've always got the ability to do that. I'll also show you that you've actually got a rubber cleaning brush in the middle here, and this can easily be taken out if you want to. So just take the cover off, and then that pulls out. So again, if you needed to clean it, or if you wanted to replace it after a time, then that's easy to do. Then you just pop it back in the side there, that's it, and then that just all clips back into place. So when you combine the 4-stage cleaning system of the dual side brushes, the rubber brush in the middle, the Osmo Turbo 2.0 rotating mopping system, that's what they call it. That's basically the 2 mopping pads that counter-rotate, so they rotate in opposite directions to get a better cleaning performance. And when you combine that with the 6000 PA suction power, it's giving you the best opportunity for the cleanest floor possible. You have also got a feature on here called Intelligent Auto Lift Mopping. And essentially what it will do is if you're going from a hard floor like this onto a carpet, then you don't necessarily want it to mop, do you? So it is intelligent enough to know that it's going from a hard floor onto a carpet, and what it will do, as long as it's no more than around 9mm, then it will actually lift the mop pads at the back. So I'll just show you. And I know they're already lifted at the back, but I just wanted to show you how it can go from a hard floor like this up onto carpet. And personally, I'd say that's more than 9mm that's gone up. So really impressive. This next test is going to be quite interesting for me, but also a little bit sad. And what I mean by that is that I'm a huge lover of coffee. And what I'm going to do is I've got a small amount of coffee left in my coffee cup. I'm not going to put a whole cup down. So I'm going to tip some onto the floor, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some ground coffee, just spread it over here. So I want to put it near to the edge, just to see how well it performs going up to the edge there. Now, coffee is quite a good one to use because the floor I've got is quite light, and clearly the coffee is quite a dark colour. So as well as that, I'm just going to pour some of the coffee onto the floor here. Now, I know it's, I don't want it to be down there too long, and it's quite a bit of coffee actually. So let's just finish that off. Might as well make it worthwhile. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to select from the app. I've just gone back onto the app, and I want to select the custom area. So I've had a spillage, and what I want to do now is I want to just let's make that a little bit bigger till it's come all the way across here, and hopefully it should just go and clean that. Cleaner preference. So I want to get this done pretty quickly, so I want it to I suppose vacuum and mop, because I need it to do both of those. Tell you what, let's put it onto strong. So I just want to make sure it gets everything up, and then once we've done that, then I can press go. I'll just show you this because now it's finished the whole cleaning process. When it heads back, it just, so you can see the station is washing the mopping pads. Clearly the amount of coffee that I had on the floor there, it needed to clean. So it's little things like this that honestly made this vacuum so fantastic. So now it's going through a self-cleaning process, because clearly that the coffee on the floor was quite a challenge for it. But I just wanted to show you up to the edges as well. So even though I tipped some of the coffee onto the floor, then there's nothing left. So the edge-to-edge cleaning works really well. Now when it comes to the cleaning of the robot, I'll be honest, there really isn't a lot you need to do. You can just press the button on the top to put it through a self-cleaning mode. I won't do that at the moment because what it's done is, because it's cleaned the area that I suppose I'm on at the moment, although it's almost pretty dry now, but you've got the option to manually select how you want it to clean. I'll just quickly show you on the app. So you've got mopping pads cleaning, empty the dust, and hot air drying. So at the moment it's going through a hot air drying cycle, and that just helps to make sure the pads are nice and clean, the mopping pads. And what I mean by that, let's just come back down here, is that if we just left this now and just because everything is wet underneath, then I'll be honest, next time you get it out, it's going to be a bit smelly and it might not be as clean as it should be. So it's just gone through a whole cleaning process where it's cleaned the mopping pads, and now it's going through the hot air drying process. I did mention earlier about the unique feature of it using hot water to go around and clean, and I must say I'm really impressed. Now, why is it hot water that it uses? Now, Ecovacs have discovered that if you wash something, so if it's going to clean the floor at around 55 degrees centigrade or around 131 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's pretty accurate, that's the ultimate temperature, A, for heating up pretty quickly, but that's really the ultimate temperature for things like getting everything clean, and it can also dissolve things like animal oils, or if you've got sticky stains on the floor. Anything higher than that, so ultimately it could go a lot higher than that, but what they've discovered is if you go much over 132 degrees Fahrenheit, then you can cause gelatinization within the, say, a sticky patch. I like that word, gelatinization. But anyway, that's what it can cause, and it can make the, say, the sticky area that you've got on the floor, or if you've got a stain or something, it can make it a lot more difficult to get up. Now, just before I finish up, I just want to show you the dirty water tank in here. Now, as you can see, I've done quite a lot of cleaning now. So part of that is the coffee, and part of that is the early cleaning process that I did earlier around the house. But I think you'll agree with me that that's certainly dirty. And what I want to do is I'm just going to go and empty this and start to finish off the video. So I'm really happy now because I've got a nice clean floor, and I've set it to schedule so that probably once every 3 or 4 days it's going to come and vacuum, and then probably once a week I can get it to vacuum and mop at the same time. Absolutely brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know there's a huge amount to talk about, and I hope I've covered pretty much the basics. But if you are thinking about buying one of these, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Ecovacs Deebot T20 Omni Robot Floor Vacuum Cleaner. Please give us a thumbs up on a YouTube video, click subscribe, leave any comments below. I know that, as I just said, there's a huge amount I can talk about. I'm sure there might be, if you've come here to look for a feature, or if there's something that I've not mentioned, then I'm going to be using this at home, then just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got one of these, then let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the honest feedback. Thanks for joining me today.